The stock market is officially closed right now on this Saturday, June 20, 2026, and the final official closing price for Ondas Holdings Inc., trading under the ticker symbol ONDS, sits at $9.27 per share. During the final hours of the last active trading session, the stock experienced an intraday upward movement of 1.64%, pulling back slightly in after-hours trading by about 1/100th of a dollar. What really catches the eye isn't just the price stability near the $9 mark, but the staggering trading volume that reached over 64 million shares in a single day, far exceeding historical averages and highlighting massive accumulation by institutional players. While everyday retail traders look at the headline of the recent $125 million acquisition of Cyberhawk and assume this is just another small-cap drone company burning capital on expansion, the true underlying structural shifting of this business is something most market observers completely miss. The surprise twist here is that Ondas is not expanding as a hardware manufacturer. Rather, it is systematically transforming its financial profile into an enterprise software data platform with an immediate $95 million backlog of high-margin recurring cash flows. This strategic move fundamentally changes the underlying mechanics of how the equity should be valued, creating a severe disconnect between its legacy reputation as a volatile penny stock and its current reality as an infrastructure intelligence powerhouse. The general consensus among market participants utilizing popular investing sites is that Ondas remains a highly speculative, high-beta bet that is far too dangerous for a conservative individual brokerage account. Many self-directed market participants who look for quick momentum plays tend to view this asset through the same lens as highly liquid tech giants like Tesla stock or Apple stock, expecting rapid daily swings driven entirely by social media sentiment. The common ground among casual investors is that automated drone solutions and industrial wireless networks are a distant future concept that will take a decade to generate actual net income. However, looking deeper at the real operational metrics exposes a completely different situation. By absorbing a global leader in drone-based inspection that already operates across 40 countries and protects critical infrastructure for oil majors and massive utilities, Ondas is crossing the threshold into immediate utility. This challenges the popular short-sighted narrative because it replaces speculative long-term promises with hard, contracted, recurring software revenues that stabilize the balance sheet right now. To truly understand the recent performance of this asset, we have to look closely at the intense trading volume and institutional positioning that has unfolded over the last few weeks. The stock has been carving out a highly volatile but structurally ascending base, moving from its 52-week low of $1.36 all the way up to an annual high of $15.28 before settling into its current $9 consolidation zone. When people log into their Robinhood app or check their portfolio on the Fidelity mobile app, they often see the sharp vertical spikes and subsequent pullbacks and assume it is just retail speculation. The reality is that major institutional desks have been quietly clearing out the float. Large blocks of shares are changing hands off the public exchanges, and the dramatic rise in daily trading volumes to over 64 million shares suggests that massive wealth management firms are building long-term core positions. This is not the typical behavior of a fading microcap entity. This is the classic signature of an aggressive accumulation phase, where larger funds take advantage of retail impatience to absorb shares before a major valuation re-rating. For anyone managing their own capital through a self-investing strategy, analyzing these microcap market mechanics requires a level of detail that goes way beyond what a basic robo-advisor can tell you. Whether you use Schwab Intelligent Portfolios for your automated broad market exposure or actively select individual assets on the Interactive Brokers platform, the technical setup here demands your full attention. The stock is currently sitting right above its key moving averages, absorbing the overhead supply from its rapid run-up earlier this year. When a stock surges several 100% over a 12-month period, it requires months of sideways grinding to wash out weak-handed short-term traders. This process is exactly what we are seeing play out on the Interactive Brokers trading desk and across major retail platforms like SoFi Invest. The daily swings between $8.90 and $9.50 are designed to frustrate short-term speculators, forcing them to sell their positions back to patient institutional buyers who understand the longer-term structural shift. If we look at how retail participation is distributed across modern online investment platforms, we can see a clear trend. A significant portion of the recent buying pressure has originated from users utilizing Robinhood stock trading and those taking advantage of Robinhood fractional shares to accumulate small positions over time. At the same time, sophisticated international investors managing large capital pools via Interactive Brokers stock trading are providing a solid floor for the asset. This duality creates a unique market dynamic where the stock benefits from both viral retail enthusiasm and disciplined institutional backing. The options options market is also pricing in massive implied volatility, with expected moves over the coming months suggesting a wide trading band. This high option premium indicates that market makers are bracing for a massive breakout or breakdown rather than a continuation of the current quiet consolidation. Now, let's step back and look at what this business actually does and how its core operational model functions. Ondas Holdings operates through two primary business segments, Ondas Networks and Ondas Autonomous Systems. The network side of the business focuses on proprietary wireless data communication technology designed specifically for mission-critical industrial applications, such as major freight railroads and large-scale utility grids. The Autonomous Systems division includes American Robotics and the recently amplified drone-in-a-box solutions that provide fully automated aerial surveillance and inspection without requiring human pilots on site. The business model has historically relied on lengthy enterprise sales cycles and large, lumpy government or corporate contracts, which explains why past financial reports often showed highly volatile revenue figures and persistent net losses. However, the historical context of their older financial results is quickly becoming obsolete due to the company's aggressive acquisition strategy. In past fiscal years, the primary bear thesis against the stock was its high cash burn rate and its reliance on capital raises to keep operations running. Critics frequently pointed to the net losses reported in early quarters as proof that the commercial adoption of industrial drone technology was moving too slowly. But the recent financial data completely upends that older perspective. The company recently reported a staggering year-over-year revenue increase of over 1,000% for the first quarter, matching its entire revenue base from the previous full fiscal year in just 3 months. This explosive growth proves that commercial adoption has passed the proof of concept phase and is now entering full-scale commercial deployment. Comment below how many shares of Ondas you currently hold in your portfolio, or if you prefer to stick to large cap names instead. When we look toward the future outlook, the primary catalyst to watch is the integration of the Cyberhawk business into the main corporate framework, which is scheduled to finalize during the third quarter of this year. This transaction is 95% cash funded and brings an established customer base including giants like Shell, Qatar Energy, PG&E, and Southern California Edison. Management has explicitly stated that they expect Cyberhawk to generate over $45 million in revenue for the fiscal year ending in March 2027, with high single-digit margins that are projected to expand significantly to over 25% by the end of the decade. For investors using the SoFi trading platform or adjusting their long-term holdings through Fidelity investments, this provides a clear, visible path to corporate profitability that simply did not exist a year ago. The integration of proprietary cloud software will allow corporate clients to visualize and analyze complex infrastructure assets through advanced digital twin workflows, making the software an indispensable part of daily industrial operations. Of course, this aggressive growth path does not come with substantial risks that every disciplined investor must weigh carefully. Relying heavily on mergers and acquisitions always introduces integration risk. If the corporate cultures do not mesh well or if the technical platforms fail to sync cleanly, the projected margin expansion could face severe delays. Furthermore, the company still operates in a highly regulated airspace environment, meaning any sudden changes in drone aviation laws or federal security mandates could temporarily stall commercial deployments. There is also the constant reality of capital management. While the business is rapidly moving toward positive cash flow, any unexpected operational delays could force management to tap the equity markets again, potentially diluting current shareholders who accumulated their positions via the Robinhood app or through their individual brokerage accounts. When you balance these potential headwinds against the massive structural market opportunities, the true value proposition becomes clear. The macro environment is shifting heavily in favor of domestic, secure, dual-use technology platforms that serve both commercial critical infrastructure and national defense sectors. As government agencies place stricter limits on foreign manufactured drone components, domestic providers like Ondas are perfectly positioned to capture the resulting market share. This structural tailwind is something that basic automated platforms or standard Fidelity mutual funds might overlook due to strict market cap limitations, but it represents a massive hunting ground for active, self-directed investors who closely monitor sector momentum. To tie all of this back together, the central insight here comes down to the sharp contrast between market expectations and operational reality. The broader market expects Ondas to behave like a typical cash-burning speculative tech startup that will constantly dilute its shareholders just to keep the lights on. The reality, however, is that the company has rapidly engineered a highly sophisticated business pivot, combining critical industrial wireless networks with an enterprise software platform that commands high margins and a massive contracted revenue backlog. For anyone managing an intelligent portfolio or seeking general investment help, this stock represents a classic case of an asset outgrowing its legacy reputation faster than the public markets can adjust its share price. Whether you are looking at this through the lens of a long-term retirement strategy using Fidelity IRAs or actively trading the daily swings on the SoFi investing interface, the underlying transformation of this company demands respect. It's no longer just a speculative concept. It's matured into a real cash-generating infrastructure asset that is quietly positioning itself to dominate a highly lucrative enterprise niche. As the public market slowly wakes up to the true scale of this software integration and the reliable nature of its recurring revenues, the gap between short-term emotional trading sentiment and long-term fundamental reality is highly likely to close, leaving a lasting sense of authority and clarity for those who took the time to analyze the hard operational numbers rather than just chasing the daily chart patterns.
Disclaimer. This video is made only for educational and informational purposes. I am not a financial advisor. Any stock, crypto, or investment discussed here is not financial advice. Please do your own research or consult a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Invest responsibly. Bags, graphs. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video to support the channel.